Hello everyone, my name is Erin and today I'm finally going to get this video done. Let me clarify first. I've done this video three times actually, and they've all come out horrible. For one, I said something completely false and I couldn't come back from it. There was no editing to fix it. For the second one, it was like a lighting flare and I'm just praying. Like, I know I look like I'm sweating right now, and I've become okay with that because of what I just told you guys other times. But if there's another light flare, I'm going to lose my mind. And it's all I'm already halfway there. Losing it. I'm looking for the pieces for 3 years now. I can't find them. But I just, whew, okay, calm down. Okay, anyways, we're here. I can't wink. But so can't Rihanna. So February was just a really good month of reading for me. As I was saying before, I read 15 books. Yeah, 15. I was super excited because that was unexpected. But we had a lot of snow days. I had the time, the energy, the effort. So I got it done. I read so many books. Yeah, I still did not read a single book that I planned to read. I tried reading some books. I was bored. I couldn't do it. This is my way of going into telling you that I did not finish a single book by a black author? Is that right? Writer. I did not finish a single book by a black writer. Very disappointed in myself too. I started out of Not Your Negro. I was enjoying it, but then I got kind of distracted and I just didn't have the motivation to pick it up again. I started I Know Why the Caged Bird Sing by Maya Angelou. I feel like I got the title wrong, but it's about a caged bird singing, okay? I wasn't interested again. I just felt like I was more in a high fantasy mood and I was not trying to read books about oppression. So those books just weren't really working for me. So then I picked up A Blade So Black, and I cannot remember the author. I'll put their name and their book down below because I do want to support them. I did not purposely shy away from black writers, but I didn't finish anything by a black writer either. So I'm feeling really disappointed in myself. I know I had my black card revoked. I feel really bad. I know I need to stop pulling my hair, but I know for these 15 books I have here that are by no black authors. I'm so sorry, community. The first of the 15 being Macbeth by William Shakespeare. I read Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare last year. I did not love it. I did not hate it, but I had really no feelings towards it. I was like, this is the guy that y'all choose to be one of the greatest writers in history. I was not impressed, okay? I was still laughing because one of the insults in this book, this is not a spoiler, is "you egg." And listen, William Shakespeare, I did have a lot more respect for him after reading Macbeth because it was just that good. I loved this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars simply because I felt like the beginning was a lot more interesting versus the ending because things just kind of did not escalate. I mean, they did, but they didn't. I felt like some characters, stories, a specific character story could have been so much more interesting. I don't know. It was just dumb. It was not a movie for me anymore. But I still liked it. I enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed it because I love Hamilton. I actually got to go see Hamilton on my birthday, which was March 10th. It was phenomenal. It was great. And thank you to my parents. I love you so much. I love Hamilton. I love you. It was just a great experience. As I was reading the book, I saw tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. And I shut the book down. Okay? I shut it down. I said, hold on. I have heard this before somewhere. And I racked my brain. It had been a while since I listened to that song. I know, I'm trash. Garbage bin. But when I realized it was from Hamilton, I said, oh my god, this is from Hamilton. Now, is this actually from Macbeth? Yes, but just knowing, finally understanding that song even more, I didn't get the weight of the words that he was saying until now, and now I get it. So Macbeth just made Hamilton better for me. So I love Macbeth. 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. Good time. Oops, I kind of lied. I said that was the first book I finished this month, but that's not true. I finished that in the middle of the month. It was just on top of my pile. I'm thinking about it now. However, the first set of books I finished this month was the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. I've been trying to get her name right. I think it's Tahara. I was calling this chick Taira last year, and she is like a queen. She does not deserve that, okay? That's the T. Is there really T? No, because you should call people their names anyways, but now I'm trying to get it right. So Tahara, it takes me so much effort to say that, but Tahara Mafi. Please be Tahara. I read her books again, and I had a really fun time. Okay, it was nice. It was casual. We were chilling. Snow day, fun day, 5-day weekend. I need to quit. It had been 3 years since I read the original Shatter Me trilogy. Okay, and I had no idea like what happened. Like I would read like the last couple of pages of Ignite Me every once in a while, but I just never even considered rereading the first 2 books, especially because like the main ship of this series was even together in like book 1, so I was just not here for it. But I didn't, because I decided that maybe I would actually like want to remember everything. For me, I was fine. We were peachy cool. Yes, we were peachy cool. I picked up Shatter Me. It was fun. I still gave it 3 out of 5 stars though, simply because, hear me out, this is technically dystopian, but it's not dystopian. This is a romance novel. Okay, that's not a bad thing for me. I love romance in my series, but I feel like if you are marketing this book in the era of dystopian, by the way, like Hunger Games, Divergent, this isn't really what people are looking for. So I felt like it was kind of misleading. No, but it did not impact my overall enjoyment though. However, I love Tahara Mafi's writing. I do. I love it so much. I think she's a great writer. But this book has some really questionable quotes. And listen, it's not problematic in like what he's abusing women, or that was like totally homophobic. No, none of that. But more so in the way that they don't make any sense. This book is full of like metaphors and similes, and that's great. I'm really happy. My 6th grade language art teacher would be proud of Tahara here. Unravel Me, did not remember enjoying this series so much, but then I reread it and I loved it. The first half of this book was kind of like boring. It was just Adam whining and nobody liked Adam, so I was not here for it. But then we got to the second part, and things are escalating, and our main character is evolving, and like the drama's happening, and I loved it. Ignite Me. I always loved Ignite Me. 5 out of 5. Really no comments about this book. Restore Me, 5 out of 5. And I feel like the fact that Restore Me is a 5 out of 5 is very, 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 very good, for the simple fact that we are exploring a new power dynamic. I just feel like so many times in series you just kind of have to accept the fact that these main characters are in these new powerful roles, and you just imagine them automatically clicking into it because obviously they're this like super bad A leader character, and that's great. Like, you want the best for them, that's fine. But this did like show kind of like struggling with how to manage your power in this new role that you were put into, and I felt like for some people that could be really boring, but not for me, and I felt like that's because of Tahara. I just feel like Tahara did like a really great job just keeping us interested, especially because there's not like a lot of action in this book. There's not any more angst with the main couple of the series. So I just thought that she did a great job. 5 out of 5. Good job, Tahara. You rock, girl. I love you. Next, I finished my least favorite book of all time. 1 out of 5 stars. More like 0.5. And that is No Chance, Mysterio Sauce, and Granada. I read this 65-page book for Spanish, and just let me clarify to you that I know that I am in Spanish too. I am not supposed to be reading anything that is a true work of art at my level of Spanish in Spanish, okay? I know this. I know this. This book was probably made for 1st graders and 2nd graders in Mexico or Spain, or just these Spanish-speaking countries or Spanish-speaking backgrounds. And I think that's great, but it's not great. Because here's the thing, when I was in 1st and 2nd grade, I was reading crap that's way better than this. Listen, this is why kids don't like to read, because you guys selling these books that are really horrible and they have like no actual plot. Or like throughout this whole entire book, I was like, where are we going? Where are we going now? Where are we going? If kids are actually reading this somewhere, if they actually are, they deserve better. Our children deserve better. This is a crime against humanity. When we finished this book in Spanish, we all said, what? Listen, I can't really tell you guys to like go talk to someone because you guys don't know them. But like I promise to God, we all collectively were just confused. We were all laughing because nothing made any sense. Like, what? It's not like there's a book 2. I'm not saying that like we would actually go and find it, but the fact that it's a hot mess. Okay, so I have a bit of explaining to do for these last set of books here. In the past, I did make a video that is now down called Series I Don't Like Anymore, and I did mention this series, and I did have legitimate reason behind it, basically saying that the lack of diversity in this series is appalling. I also explained in that video that this is the series that got me to love reading now. Coincidence? What? I read this series when I was in middle school, 7th grade. I was on this account called Neo Pixie Sims. She's a similar, yeah, I know I'm nerdy. Someone asked her, have you ever read this series? And she said, no, but I want to. And I thought, hey, I never heard this before, and I was a really bored kid. It was the summertime, I had time, so I read it and I loved it. And I thought, if there are amazing books out there like this, then what else is out there that I'm missing? So I read another book by the author at the time called A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then go Myla. I found even more YA books, and that is how I became the reader I am today. And I think you noticed the Throne of Glass series by now, and I told myself I was not going to be purchasing Kingdom of Ash. I did not really want to continue with it, but then I actually ended up receiving the book for Christmas, and it became so tempting. It was just sitting on my shelf, and I just realized, what is the point of boycotting something that you already own and have? To me, it was the equivalent of people burning their Nike products after the whole Kaepernick controversy, if it's even a controversy still, I don't know. But it was just dumb. I didn't really see the point of doing it. I didn't get it at this point. So I decided to just satisfy my curiosity and pick up Kingdom of Ash. But then I realized that I don't remember a single thing that's going on. Not really. So I told myself I have the time and the desperate want, to be honest, to reread every single book in the Throne of Glass series. And that's how we picked up Throne of Glass. I gave Throne of Glass a 3 out of 5 stars. I strongly feel like if you have no idea what's going on in this like series at all, and you're not like rereading it like I am, the magic in this world are just a lot of like things that are happening don't really make any sense. And like, yeah, eventually they kind of do. Kinda. The magic in this world, to be honest, is always a little questionable. But I don't know. I just can imagine like being confused reading this book for the first time. I wasn't really delving that deep in 7th grade. Now that I'm trying to really think about what I'm reading more, I could totally just imagine being kind of lost. So 3 out of 5 stars. I still enjoyed reading it. Did I pick up Crown of Midnight? 5 out of 5 stars, you guys. Listen, I literally did not remember reading Crown of Midnight. I even called it my least favorite in the series. It's not my favorite. I think Crown of Midnight is the best book. I just genuinely believe that the plot twists that happen in this book are unmatched. A lot of time in Sarah's like later on books in the series and other books, it just feels like some scenes are maybe unnecessary or the book is going pretty slow. Everything that happened in this book happened for a reason. A lot of scenes that probably didn't feel all that significant, we saw it kind of come to play later on. So I do feel like Heir of Fire kind of like set us off on the road of like what our new mission's going to be. I feel like this book kind of just set the dominoes for how things are going to come to play later on in the series. Speaking of Heir of Fire, I did give this book a 3 out of 5 stars, which was so painful for me because I used to consider this book my favorite book in the series. So it was just really hard reviewing it as such, but just looking back, other than our main character's like point of view, some things like, yeah, they did kind of come to play like Crown of Midnight did, but it just felt really slow. It felt like a really slow book, and I get that we're doing a lot of character development. I understand, completely get it. I know, I'm not stupid, but I was bored. I was so bored. Yikes. Then I read Queen of Shadows. I loved Queen of Shadows. I always have. 5 out of 5 stars. I really got nothing to say about this book. I should mention that I never read the points of views of Manon when I first like read the books in the series. So like Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows, Manon was like the highlight for it, because it was like I already knew who she was. I already knew like the basic like plot points of her plot line. I already knew like the basic happenings of like her story because I watched like reviews and like read them. But I was like reading it for like the first time and I couldn't believe that I skipped over like this amazing like chunk of book. Like it was just so great. I was so interested. I cared. I met Manon. I met the 13. I met Eli. Like I genuinely met them and I loved them. And speaking of which, I love them even more in this book. Eli is probably like my favorite character in this series now. Oops, my bad. But I loved her so much, and she got like a lot of like time in Empire Storms, which really like went to my enjoyment for the book. And also at the time of Empire Storms, I read this book like way too fast, so I did not like really process some of the information in here. So rereading Empire Storms, I realized how terrifying this book actually is. You're just really realizing the possible fate of some of these characters. And that for me was like terrifying, but I still loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Then we went to Tower of Dawn. I did not want to read Tower of Dawn, but I knew I had to because I knew that we weren't like new information in this book. So I reread it and I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Felt like some of the plot was very predictable and the relationships in this book were very predictable, but I still enjoyed them. Really fun time meeting all these new characters. I had a really fun time like meeting a whole new part of this world. I just think this was a nice little beautiful book. Then we got to Kingdom of Ash and I became very emotional because this is a series that made me start to love reading, and here it is ending after all this time. Reading it was just such a relief. Like we finally got to this last hurdle, and like I wanted to read it but I didn't because I was gonna be officially closing this chapter. But it was wonderful. Yeah, there were like some slow moments, but it's just like the shock factors and just everything that happened in this novel just made up for that, you know. And I loved it so much, and I cried at the ending, and I'm trying not to spoil anything, but it was tough going through this book. So yeah, that's the end of my 15 books. That was my month of reading in February, and can you tell I got really tired while making this video? Just so much talking, a whole lot of work, but I just genuinely enjoyed every single book I picked up this month. I do make videos every week. Most of the time they come on Sundays, but if not on Sunday, they will come to you sometime, I promise. If you're interested, I would really appreciate a subscribe and for you to just keep up with me and like what I'm doing over here on my channel. See you next week. Bye.